Hey now. Hey now. Oh my gosh, now I know you can hear me. Oh, man, that was a rocky start, huh? It's because I'm so damn high tech. Tell me you can hear me now, because I can see it moving. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, all right, look. To the rest of you, like, your patience is appreciated. Hey now, to Joshua, to Dan, to Joe, to Louie, all of you. Hey now. Hey now. Okay. All right. Here we go. Now that you can hear what I'm saying, this will probably have a lot more value. Okay? Here's the plan. We're gonna do some lotion beds together. Holy high tech, Bobby! Can you believe that? No sound for the first 2 minutes. We're gonna do some lotion beds together. I got 5 designs that I'm gonna make with you, ready to go. We're gonna pour the first one together, and then like my whole camper is covered with lotion beds that are already made, ready to like do all the mixing up stuff. Okay? So I took some notes to make sure that I kind of stay on track as I can ramble. You guys know that. Scotty, Matthew, Thor, hey now. Joshua, right down in Boomtown. I wish I had a Boomtown sound effect. I can give you one of these. Alright, so here's, I took some notes to make sure I stay on track. You guys know that I can ramble. Here's where I thought the best place to start was, alright, is these lotion mixes. It's always opposite the camera, you gotta remember that. I'm gonna start with what's in here, even though I've covered this in a bunch of videos, like left, right, center, up, and down. But my mix is super simple, alright? I have in here 1/2 teaspoon, that's 2 of these 1/4 teaspoon super tins, that go into the bottle first, okay? And then I take a little acetone, and I pour it into the cap, and then I pour in just enough to wet the acetone down there, kind of like swoosh it around something like that. Just enough to wet it, to saturate it, so that it's like a liquid instead of a powder. Mostly so that it mixes through the lotion bag. Okay? Music's very loud. Thank you. Bang, I forgot to turn that back down. Oh, teamwork makes the dream work. I'm not like a producer. I'm faking it. This stuff's way more high tech than me. Alright? I'll start over with the lotion mix because you guys are so helpful. Can you hear me now? I turned the music way down. Holy high tech, Bobby. We're gonna get these right. The next one, right on the money. Okay, in the lotion mix. 1/4 teaspoon scoop of powder right into the bottle. Then I pour a little bit of acetone in the cap, and then just enough from the cap into the bottle to wet the acetone at the bottom and saturate it. So that it's not a powder form anymore and it's like just barely a liquid. Swoosh it around. And then in goes the lotion. And for my lotion mixes, I only use this Queen Helene's cocoa butter. It's the king of cocoa butters. I don't always use it for my beds because it's way more expensive than just like regular dollar store cocoa butter that works just fine. But 4 ounces of that Queen Helene's cocoa butter to the 1/4 teaspoon scoop and a little bit of acetone, and then mix that sucker till it's all the way mixed. Okay, it takes a while, but all the way through, and then bang, you got the mix. That's what I'm going to be using for all these designs. Okay, turn the mic up a little more. Boomtown. Oh yeah, it's definitely louder now. I wish I could like hear. Maybe I should get like headphones and put in, so I can hear what you guys hear, because all I can hear is my, I don't even hear the background music. I wish I could. That's the thing that stinks about doing the background music through the machine. I can't hear it. All right, so that's what's in the mix. Now we're gonna make some beds. The first bed that we're gonna start out with, and here's some high-tech stuff that doesn't involve sound that I know I'm gonna be able to pull off, is a blossom. Boom. That's what I'm talking about, okay? That is a blossom design that I made recently on a disc. Look, I got the disc coming right here too. Boom. There's the disc. Man, okay, there is some high-tech stuff that worked, right? high-tech Bobby. Watch. Camera 1, camera 2. Camera 1, camera 2. That's what it looked like. The bed and then the disc. Okay, but like I got some more blossom designs for you. I'll hide that one. Hide that one. Oh, look, and there's another one. Like, instead of doing rings, I did that one like a spiral and then did some of the ins and outs. Okay, we can check out what the disc looked like real quick. Boom. Camera 1, camera 2. Camera 1, camera 2. Camera 1, camera 2. Okay, you get it. So that's like another one of the blossoms. But like, after a while, I was like, I'm going to mix up... I'm going to mix up the shape. Instead of doing rings, like, how about a hexagon? Or a triangle? Or a heart? So I went through a phase where I did like a bunch of different shapes, but still did that same blossom thing. Tammy, for the new people that came in, hey now. Tammy, Sean, let me give you a hey now button.
Hey now. Hey now.
Oh, that was that was the saucy hey now. All right. So like that one's like a hexagon instead of a circle, right? So like this blossom idea, it works with a bunch. I'll show you the discs for those hexagon ones. That one was on Drones High. That was I did those a while ago. There's the other one. There were 2 of those. Okay, so that's what we're gonna do first here. Okay, is try to do one of those blossom things. I gotta switch it to the other camera. Zoop. Oh my God, that was so high tech looking. Curtis, hey now. Forrest, my main man. Hey now. Dustin, hey now.
Well, hey now. Hey now.
There's a button for you. All right, look, I'll make it do it again. All right, let's make a bed together. Now, here's the thing. The last couple live streams, they took so damn long, like an hour and a half. I've put, Spencer, hey now. I've put like a couple hours of prep work into this to make this one only go like a half hour, maybe 40 minutes, depending on how much I babble along the way. But like everything else is pre-made. We're going to hit the long part now. Like pouring the lotion into the bed is the part that can take a little bit. But for this design, it's going to be a circular one. For the circular designs, I like to make sure that the Frisbee... Oh, I thought that was a bug that just flew out. It was a piece of vinyl. I like to make sure that the Frisbee is... doesn't have to be like perfectly centered, like I'm spin dyeing, but I want to get it kind of centered, at least, because it makes things so much cleaner. Part of the problem is this Frisbee is like a warped, wobbly piece of crap, but you get the idea. Alright, let's take a quick drink. Hugh, hey now. Scotty, hey now.
Hey now. Hey now.
Alright, let's start pouring some of this lotion in. I got my lotion mix in my McSquirted in bottles here. I got 4 colors on me here. Neon purple, radical red, bright blue, and fluorescent pink. And then in my tiny McSquirted in bottle here, I got some black, Dungeon Dark. Okay, which I don't mix in here. I just squirt from the big bottle into this little one. These things are awesome. Alright, let's get this started. See, here's one of the things about doing this that's a little different than some of the other stuff you do. You're not only like measuring like where you're going as you're sort of drawing your designs, but you also have to measure like the pressure that you're squeezing on the bottle so that like a consistent amount comes out. So on this line here that I started with, you can see it's a little bit sloppy and choppy and soupy. I'm going to try to do it a little cleaner this time and sort of level it out to show you the difference. Boom. A lot better. Alright, so it has begun. Now, I always, and this, I mean, maybe you don't have to, but I'm colorblind, so I always keep the bottles in the same order here. Oh, you can't really see them because they're under the chat box, but here's what I'll do. Look, I'll move it over on this side so you can see it. I just knocked the cap off. Well, crap. Oh, there it is. Okay. I always keep them in the same order so that I don't mess up the order that I'm putting them in. Okay, because for me, that's easy to do. Alright? Here we go. First was purple. Next is radical red. Okay, here's another little thing about this. You can see this here. It's already kind of full. This is my spit cup. The lotion, it'd be great if it was always consistent in there. But every once in a while, as you're squeezing it and trying to maintain that consistent pressure, you can feel like a little plug where you're getting a hard patch of lotion, one that's maybe not mixed as well or whatever, but you'll know what I'm talking about when you hit it. And the same amount of pressure, and you're like, oh, nothing's coming out. That's when you hit it in the spit cup, poof, to get that plug out. Because if you try to do that like in the bed, it's gonna like squirt too hard and kind of wreck things. It does happen by, you know, by accident sometimes, and you gotta sort of Bob Ross it and turn it into a happy little accident. But that is what the spit cup is for. Oh, we do. Yo, Dustin, or I mean, Louis, if that was you that went on to Twitch and you're our first Twitch watcher, you're the man, because now we got someone on all 3 platforms at once! So friggin' high tech. Man, do I love it. Alright, oh, whoops, I gotta keep this in order over here, like I told you. Now I'm bringing out my little black Tiny Mix squirted in bottle, which takes a totally different level of squeeze pressure. Tiny black line. I need some James Brown sound effects up in this place. Too funky in here. Oh yeah, KGB. I see you up on Twitch as well. My man. Yeah, Eric, Go Eagles is right. And Moog Lee, I'm gonna give you a hey now. I'm gonna give you all a hey now. Where's my hey now button?
Hey now. Hey now.
I love it when it's this saucy hey now. Alright, next comes bright blue. So you can see how, like, if you get lucky and there's no plugs in there, with a consistent spin and consistent pressure, you can get like a pretty clean line. It doesn't always work out that way. Okay. You see where this is going. Oh yeah, my man Jared's up in here? Hey now, Spidey.
Hey now. Hey now.
Jared, I just, the other day, bumped into that video I made of you opening the Spidey disc in the Spider uniform. And I gotta tell you, brother, it was the best part of my day, was rewatching that video. So freaking awesome. Oh man, what a dude. For those of you that don't know, my man Jared Allen, who just jumped in, is like one of the oldest TDIDI, the OGest TDIDI All-Stars around. He's been here since the Sharpie days, like my boy Chad Pruitt, who I saw up in there. And Jared, like, with his son now, dresses up like superhero and goes and visits kids in the hospital and makes them feel awesome about themselves. Which, if that's not like one of the coolest flavors of doing it I've ever heard, I don't know what is. Okay, there's the cap. I gotta be careful with the caps. It's so easy to lose them. And now, I'm gonna go back to the black again. Oh gosh, do I love those pencil thin black lines. Man! Right, now I'm gonna start again. Right through the colors. And leave a little bit of negative space going there. See what happens when you get a little plug. Okay, I like it. Okay, there's 2 down. Oh, my man Terry Wolf's up in here? Bro, we got all the TDIDI OG All-Stars up in here.
Hey now.
Terry, you get 2 of them. How you doing there, dude? We got all the TDIDI OGs up in here. Forrest and Terry and Chad and Jared. Okay. Now to the blue. I know you're keeping busy. Oh, squirted too hard there. This one's going to require a little cleanup. Okay, I can cover that. Okay, you can see how the ring is fatter down here than it is like over here, and that I'm not even. Like if you have OCD issues like I do, the nice thing about this method is that you can basically just cover that right up with the next ring. So I'm going to put the fluorescent pink, starting right before that, just over that bright blue bump, and even it out that way. Alright, now another round of black. We're getting there. I'm going to do one more ring, and then we're going to start funking this thing up. I don't know why, but those black pinstripes are just the sexiest damn thing I've ever seen. They're so tight. Anyone that I missed?
Well, hey now.
There's a hey now for you. I love my hey now button. It's easily my favorite new part of my high-tech setup that my sister hooked me up with. Okay. That's the end of the red, caps all the way on. End of the purple, caps all the way on. Let me see if I can catch. I'm going to look up for a second and give you some... Oh, Shane, I see you with a hey now. Joel, I see you. Samantha, hey now. Jared, I have not seen the Garbage Pail Kids that you're talking about. I'm sure my man Chris McHugh has. Oh, crap, that blue is sloppy. Man, why is its turntable arm keep screwing with me? Okay. 2 more rings and we're done. You can see why, instead of making you sit there while I like pour all these beds as we go, the next 4 I've already poured. And we'll just get right to the design making with those. Because this portion, it takes like a good amount of focus to make it clean. And it can take a little bit, right? I mean, that took us 15, 20-ish. Okay, boom, it's poured. And I don't know about you, but I'm stoked to move on. So much so, I'm gonna give you a little bit more James Brown. Okay, next, I'm gonna reach over here and grab my McPokerton and a paper towel. I'm gonna just get the paper towels out, okay? I'm gonna need them. Now, here we go. Okay, now, when you start with this design, rings, circles, okay? Tammy, we ship all over the, yeah, we do ship to Canada. Just hit me, shoot me a DM later and we'll talk. Okay, with all the different designs where you start with rings like this, okay, which there's a bunch that you can do. There's all sorts of ways that you can now just like mix this all up into cool things. Most of them, when you make rings, you know, ins and outs are the secret to making it look cool. Now, like the 2 probably most popular designs that you can make from this stage is either a burst or a blossom. Okay, the good news, you can start with a burst and then make a blossom. To make a burst, you would do all outs from the center, dragging through the lotion, you know, making burst-like things going outward. To do a blossom, you would alternate out and then in, and then out and then in, and then out and then in. But going like around clockwise or something like that, it can be tough to keep things consistent and even. So like what I like to do every time is to start in the middle and work my way out from there. Okay, so for instance, I always start with the outs, all right? I never start with the ins, because a design with just ins, honestly, I think it looks dumb. I mean, maybe you don't, but the outs, just outs, where you're making a burst, there have been a bunch of times where I've been like, this just looks too cool, I'm gonna stop here. But we'll start with the outs. Put my McPokerton in, and I drag it through, okay? Now I'm gonna go opposite of that. I got stuck on the stupid plastic nipple on the bottom there. And still go out. Now I'm going to try to split this even. And go out again. You can see that I'm wiping off my McPokerton every time. In between, I don't want to stain the negative space in the middle, nor do I want to like have an inconsistent pattern of colors dragged through each other. Because I was talking and not paying attention, look, that line should have been more like this to be even. But now you can see that like this pie piece up here is bigger than the rest. So it's not, I already like kind of messed the even part up, but you can see what I'm talking about. Aaron, hey now. Eddie, hey now. Let me give you a hey now button.
Hey now. Hey now.
Alright, I'm still sticking with outs, okay? Now I'm going to split these 4 little pie pieces that I made. And, you know, when I'm paying super attention, I'm trying to split them as evenly as I possibly can. Right down the middle. Aaron, one reason I don't always rotate the bed is because my camper is not level, and it's a challenge for me to level the turntable. I do have like my own little super high-tech method of mini markers turned upside down in the back and turned right side up in the front, kind of propping it a little bit, but it's still not totally level. It's only close. So because it's hot, it's gerbil stuck in a tube sock together out here. My Lotion is a little bit soupy and wants to move around a little bit more than normal. So I'm nervous that when I spin this, it's going to slide in the unlevel direction. But you know, if your stuff's level and it's not too soupy to mess it up when you spin, there's nothing wrong with that at all. All right, I think I'm gonna do one more round of outs, splitting now these 8 spaces. I just poked myself in the lip with the pointy side of the pokerton. All right, so you can like see this kind of coming together into the burst look. All right, boom. Now that's all the outs I'm gonna do. And if you wanted to stop there, like that looks dope, right? And that would look super cool on a disc. I mean, it's not like an official term. It's just what I call it because of what it looks like. Like lip pokerton. Like if you dig it, great. Stick a disc in there. But we're here to like show off design. So call that one the burst. Now, after doing the outs, if we start doing some ins, then we're going to change that burst into a blossom look. So now in the spaces in between that we have left, we'll do some ins. But here's what I'm going to tell you before we start doing the ins. If you were to take these ins, now because we did so many outs, there's 16 sections, if we were to take that many that back into the center, all the way into the center, like this center you can tell is already starting to lose its shape. It once was like pretty dang circle. But if we were to take all the ins, it starts to get real muddy and messy up in there. And like it really starts to lose it. So like what I like to do is I only take my ins like to this portion, to here. And then I let this center band stay like a burst. And then just the outside ones are like forming the blossom with the ins, okay? So see that, like right to where that inner circle starts. And then that way it doesn't like muddy the whole center up and get it all like too bunched up together. It's like too crowded in there for all that. I mean, it looks dope already coming together. I almost just dipped my watch in there. That would have sucked. Okay, And then boom, we made a blossom, right? Doesn't that look dope? Those designs are so easy. That design is so easy to make and always comes out looking so cool. Here's like a couple things. Mick, hey now. Couple things, okay? Like if you're using a mid-range, or a putter in this, I guess it doesn't really apply. But like you want to then get the bubbles out before you stick a disc in there. Doing some of this action, dropping it and letting it smack, brings them to the surface. You can also hit it with the torch. Don't get too close or have your torch set up too high, because you'll move the lotion around and mess up the design, or you can like kind of melt it and mess up the design, make that area a little too soupy. But like a light hit with the torch, not too close, and a couple of the smacks should get the large majority of the bubbles out at least. You can be as anal and OCD about that as you want, okay? But here's the other thing. When I'm putting discs into these beds that are really like center focused, I want to get the center of the disc in the center of this design. And when I use that technique like I normally do, where I roll the disc in because I don't want to trap bubbles underneath, or I want to kind of prevent it from doing that, like it's hard to do it that way, rolling it in and to land the center on the center, okay? But with drivers, especially ones that have like a dome on it, I mean, they all have a little bit of a dome, spare the super flat ones. I will go in center first with those discs and go super duper slow, so I'm still trying not to trap air bubbles, but it's so much easier to center this design on the disc by like getting over it and dropping straight down in from the center and letting the center of the disc that's a little domey touch the design first and then start to spread out in all directions. It makes a world of a difference in landing it right on the center. So like I'll pull up that disc that I made before, like the colors are, the saturation is slamming, and that's cool and all, but the thing that makes this disc work so much is like it is perfectly centered with the design. You can see it not just in the inside, but you can see it on the outside, where like that dark blue just like barely touches the rim the whole way around. So, you know, it's hard to get it centered, and it doesn't always happen that way, but that's the way to like that's the easiest way I've found to nail it. You just got to make sure that you lower that sucker in as slow as you can. All right, I'm gonna get this out of the way and grab the next bed, and then we're gonna keep on rocking. Okay, look, here's the next one. I already got it made. It's not like super clean. Two reasons. One, I moved it around a little bit, you know? Two, like making all these beds took me a little longer than I thought it was going to. So I had to kind of rush through some of them. All right, now the next design that we're gonna hit, I don't need these, I'll just leave them there, that's fine. The next design that we're gonna hit is ribbons. Okay, now ribbons, it's not that much different making ribbons as it is making the blossoms. Okay, I got a handful of pictures to show you. Like you can see there, the ribbons in there. Just instead of doing circles and then ins and outs, you do stripes and then ups and downs. Now, like my stripes are a little bit lazy, maybe kind of saggy, but you can see in these, if like you're paying attention and taking your time, like you can make them real tight, and like you can get some really dope looking ribbon designs out of them if you're focused and doing your thing. I have this one here too of like these really fat ribbons I did, and then did the same thing, ins and outs or lefts and rights in this one since the stripes are up and down. But then that one that's the only one I got a disc for. It's hard to see because of the opaque plastic, but I was just trying to do like a gradient across that OTB disc. But we got this bed right here already. I already did the stripes. All we got to do is do some ups and downs. Okay, now just like when I was working in the circle, like my goal when I'm doing these ups and downs is I want them to be even. You can do it with them not even, that's fine, but like with these, when I'm trying to make tight ribbons, that's my goal. So I find it easier for me to keep things even, starting from the center and then having it and having it and having it and having it, instead of like starting from one side and going up and down. Okay, maybe for you it's the other way, but that's just, you know, what what keeps my little OCD head in place. So I'm going to start going through this with some ups. Maybe not perfectly centered, but man, these frisbees that I'm working with here, they were a mistake to get. I bought a 10-pack of them because I was like, oh, white frisbees, those will make things so much easier to see in the live streams. But the mistake with these frisbees is they're not flat bottomed. Man, look how uneven that is. I just made a big deal out of it. That's what happens when I get talking as I go. But anyway, I got these frisbees as a 10-pack thinking, you know, the white bottoms would be great for the live streams, especially with the clear glue, so you can see things better. But they're not flat on the bottom like the other ones that I had before. And that makes such a huge difference. These have like, not even a curve. It's just like two-tone. I'm going to do another round of ups before I do my downs. Because tightening it up some kind of makes the uneven stuff look a little more even. But like right when I get to here, I go to the change, the height change in the frisbee, and that a lot of times can mess up like the stroke that you're doing. Down, up. All right. It's not the evenest thing I've ever seen, but it's going to work. Now I'm going to start with the downs. I guess I'll just start on the edge and work my way across. Oh yeah, that's coming together. I thought I got more napkins than I needed. I'm not going to have enough. That's how it always goes. Boom. And there's our ribbons. And look, even though it's not like totally even, you can see that these are a little wider. When you make them tight, the ribbons like tight like that, kind of takes care of it. Okay, like how easy was that, right? Just make some stripes and then do some ups and downs. Oh, and at the same time, X to the Z coming in with a boom town.
Hey now. Hey now.
That's my main man right there. The watch, sorry, this is the first time I've looked up at the comments and I don't even know how long. Brian, Ron, hey now. This watch was another gift from my sister when she was really trying to high-tech me up. It's a Garmin watch. My favorite thing about it is the battery lasts for like 4 weeks, or 3 weeks before you gotta plug it in. Okay, I hope you got a mental picture of that before I took it away, because I'm ready to move on to the next bed. All right, which look, I got right here, ready to go. Number 3. This is gonna be our third design, which you can tell this is a little tighter. I don't have any negative space, but basically it starts the same way, right? You're just doing stripes across. But these ones, on purpose, are a little curly and wavy in there, okay? Because this one that we're gonna do is the lazy wavy design. I know you all know this design. We've done it a bunch. Bingham's? Hey now.
Hey now. Hey now.
I love my buttons. Okay, so, like, you guys, you've all seen the Lazy Wavy. We've done this a bunch of times, but look, I still got Lazy Wavy pictures, okay? There's a recent Lazy Wavy that I did. I got this one. I don't know. Is my man Greg from Canada up in here? Greg, if you're in here, close your eyes, okay? Because I'm going to show a disc that's on the way to you in the mail. So if you want to see it, keep them open. If you don't, close your eyes. I'm going to show it. Here's what that one came out looking like. Boom. Okay, so that's like the Lazy Wavy design. You can see it's kind of like curly in here, and then we'll get to the mixing it up. I got another Lazy Wavy one right there. I think I got the picture for that one too. Boom. Okay, you can't really see it as good because of the plastic, but let's make one. All right. Stripes going across just like the last one we did, but a little funky as you're doing it. And then this one, it's not going to be both ups and downs. This one is only going to be ups or downs, whichever one of those you want to do. Okay, and I'm not as concerned too about these being even. This one, I feel like sometimes it looks cooler when they're not even, when they're a little uneven. Carlos, hey now. So let's start doing it. These lines, I don't want to make straight. I want to make kind of wavy and curly like this. Oh my gosh, I never get enough napkins. And now I'm going to try to follow that curl that I made. All the way out. Let's do one in a little bit closer. This one right up. I swear doing lotion beds is the messiest of all the methods. I don't ever get this much crap on me when I'm using glue, Floetrol, brushes. Okay, boom. How hard was that? Let's make it even tighter. Just to tease some. We'll get a couple in the middle of these. See, this one's kind of cool looking when it's not even and there's a little bit more randomness to it. I'm gonna keep going. Why not? Bang. I mean, that's probably the most wavy, lazy wavy that I've ever tried to wave up. Oh my God, Binghams. You have just moved yourself to the head of the class. Mindy and Rob, hey now.
Hey now. Hey now.
Because that's the next damn design we're making, brother, is fire! With like this same shape, okay? That's the cool thing. All right, does everybody have like a mental picture of this lazy wavy thing? That's what it looks like. All right, I'm gonna get it out of the way, and we're gonna move on to the next design. Holy cow, are we moving? Such a good idea to make these beds in advance, even though it took me forever. Okay, look, that looks pretty familiar, right? It's almost just like the one I just laid down, okay? But this one, we're gonna do fire. But like, as you can tell, you start the bed out the same exact way you do the lazy wavy one. I just chose to use more fiery colors. So I went red and orange and little pinstripes of black with yellow. It's actually not yellow, it's buttercup. But I had a bunch of buttercup, so I wanted to use it. Okay, so like with fire, look, I got some fire pictures too, some flames. So, bang. You can see that, okay? Now, it's kind of like, I guess like a clip art type fire, real, you know, with those hard sections or whatever. We've done fire and flame rings before with glue methods and all that kind of stuff, so it's a different type of fire, kind of cartoony, but you get the idea. I think I got another flame or two picture. There's all sorts of, yeah, that one's, you know, that's probably an earlier stage. But you can get all sorts of funky with it in different designs and stuff like that. I did that on, that one was, I don't know if Terry, if you're still in here, that's for the back of the Jedi symbol that's on the back of that one disc that I made you. That was the dye bed for that. Okay, so you started out the same way, you know, just use fiery colors. Or if you want blue fire, make blue colors, you know, whatever. It's just the pattern in the end, I guess. We're gonna switch to tissues here instead of paper towels because I got those handy. Now, here's the thing. With the fire, just like with the lazy wavy, you don't want to do ups and downs. You pretty much only want to do ups because that's the way the fire goes, right? It goes up. But instead of doing like matching curly lines as you go, you want to do random and funky curly lines as you go. So, you know, just start going nuts, crossing over and doing your little squiggles and swirls. But don't go like all the way up to the top. Do each one in like its own little section. And then you can kind of blend those together from there. But one thing that I'll say is, like, every time I've done this, that I haven't put that little pinstripe of black or some other like super dark color, like a real dark purple or something like that, the fire just doesn't have the same look. That contrast from the other colors makes such a big difference in the end result for how it comes out. So when you're pouring it, you definitely want to, I mean, it doesn't have to be a pinstripe either, but you definitely want to put something like high contrast in there because it gives the flames like real definition in the end. Tissues go quicker than paper towels. But you can see it, you know, it's not too different than the lazy wavy. I'm doing squiggly lines all going up, just randomizing them as I go, and, you know, trying my best to make them look kind of flamey. Golly, the tissues fill up quick. What do you think? Should we flip it and give it opposing flames? That would be cool. Probably should have done one less ring on the other side for matching opposing flames, but still get the idea. Bang. Like if I had that plan and kind of matched them a little bit better, you get the idea. But boom. So like that's basically the same. Oh, there's my man Charles Cockrell. Watch him from the car. Charles, I'm gonna play a TDIDI sound effect for you. Let's get you a Bombers one in there. Flick that putter. Flick that putter. That is what happens when you flick that putter, son. Okay, so that's flames right there. It was kind of just like the same as the lazy wavy, right? You make the lines and then you do squigglies. Randomize them every once in a while. Mix a curly Q in there. Bang! You got fire. Okay, so we've knocked out 5 different designs now. We did the burst. We did the blossom. We did the ribbons. We did the lazy wavy. We did some fire. And I got one more for you. All right? I'm going to get this sucker out of the way. Okay, alright, I'm gonna put this one here. Okay, come on. Easy now. This one, look at how much it's moving around. Oh my god, it wants to change its shape so bad. That does not look the exact same as when I first made it, but we're pretty close. Okay, next we're gonna do pinwheels, okay? There's all sorts of like pinwheel shapes and designs you can do. This one's kind of limitless. I got a bunch of pinwheel pictures to show you. Look, boom, there's one that I did. Okay, these are sort of like a combination of the first two from the start. The first one we did rings, you know, going around. The second one we did lines. This one we do lines coming out from the center, which eventually starts to turn into like little triangles, right? You can't keep going with lines. It doesn't match up right. So like any design that you're thinking like lines coming out from the center, those are what I call pinwheels. So you can see this one, instead of 4, I did it with 8, right? 1X and then another X and then little triangles inside. I'll show you how that disc came out. Bang. That's it. It's tough to get a picture of that one on that plastic, but looks pretty cool. I got another pinwheel design right there. That one's pretty dope, right? All those triangles I filled in the space. Man, that one is trippy. That one's on a yellow disc, so it's hard to see. I think I got a black light picture of that one. That's sort of, yeah, you can see it in the black light pretty well there. And another pinwheel right here. That one was in a stencil, so you couldn't really tell the design on the disc because it was in a bunch of leaves, but you could see it there. I did both arounds, like around the outside and ins and outs. I got another one kind of like with that same, oh no, this is the Evolve one. This disc was like everybody's favorite for the longest time. But this one's kind of like a pinwheel too. I did that sort of red, orange, yellow, blue, green, violet all the way around, spaced it out just right, and then did all ins and outs and then arounds with that. And then here's how the disc came out on that one. Looks so dope, right? And that plastic just ate it right up. So there's all sorts of ways that you can do these pinwheel designs. But what I found is once, like when you're going out from the center, the coolest design come from them when you make rings going through it. So I'm gonna get my McPokerton. This is another time. This is one of the spots where like the Afro pick works really well because it's so spaced perfectly. Maybe we'll just use it for the halibut. I'm gonna put it in there and then I'm just gonna give this sucker a little spin. Oh my god. Look how easy that was. Right? I mean, it's soupy and it lost some of its shape, but like all I had to do to make that look so dope was spin an Afro pick through it. That's it. I'm grabbing more paper towel. Dadgummit. Alright, but like that one, like I only went around in one direction, right? Like just like with the ins and outs and the ups and downs. Like I can go, I'm gonna try it. Well, it's gonna be really tight and maybe kind of tough, but like you can come in here. Maybe we'll do every other one. That'll look. Let me just space this out. 1, 2, 3. Okay, yeah. Every other one, I'm gonna go the other way. Oh, I'm going the wrong way. What a bozo. Alright, we fixed it. A little sloppy with that one. Alright, and then like this area where the Afro pick didn't reach, you know, we just go in there and manually bring this sucker to a close. We'll get this one going back the other way to keep with that every other design. And then bang. Look, did we take that pinwheel? Like, that's as funky as it gets, right? And it only took like a minute. So, like all these other pinwheel designs, man, lotion everywhere. All these other pinwheel designs, like the ones that I showed you, it's like the same kind of technique. Now on like this one, I did the arounds first and then did ups and downs like right through the sections as I went. But you get the idea, right? Just make some kind of funky pinwheel design from the center out and then spin that sucker. I like the every other, maybe just because why not? We'll go, you get a mental picture of the every other. Now I'm going to spin the rest of it the other direction too. Holy moly, it's starting to trip me out looking at it. Boom. I mean, that's busy, but daggone. You can really see like the effect of that back and forth design through it, that's for sure. Alright, that's all the designs I got for you. Oh no, you know what? I got a couple more. I'm not gonna make them with you, but look, I got a couple to show you, okay? Because like if you don't want to do like these like geometric or Euclidean type designs that we did, like this look, like you can draw with the lotion too, okay? I saw one in the Distars group the other day, this girl that drew some flowers with the lotion that looked amazing. But check it, like I've tried, how about this one? Okay, boom, like there's an explosion. That's all with the lotion, just kind of shaping it as I went. I poured down all the, whether that's orange or yellow in the middle, and then worked my way around it. That one was for a fallout disc behind the power armor. You can see it there in the black light. So like it transferred that nuclear explosion design, really cool, right? Or I have, where's the other funky one I have that's kind of a little, okay, yeah, this one's kind of like a spiral. and then spun it through. You can see that when I only did the one direction so that all the streaks are kind of going the same way. Like when you do the streaks only in one direction like that, it makes it look way dope when it's spinning. Now this will look dope when it's spinning too, but like just the one direction has like a kind of a cooler effect. So you're not limited to just like making circles and stripes and all that kind of stuff. You can draw with this lotion to make all sorts of funky designs. Does it look a little like a swastika? I can't have that. We gotta change. I'll give it a little bit more of this action. There, now it's just like a black hole center. Alright, well kids, I hope that you had fun. For those of you that were here in the beginning when I was muted and you helped me out to get the volume going, thanks for sticking through that with me. High Tech Bobby's figuring this stuff out as he goes, okay? I'm not a producer. I'm hardly even a disc star. But I hope you guys had a good time and you learned a bunch. If you're left with questions, feel free to shoot me a message, okay? I always get back to you, eventually. Sometimes it's not till the next morning, but you guys are awesome. And until we see you again, you know what to do. Just keep on doing it.